Hey SB fam, hey carnivores, welcome back to the channel. It's me, Bella the Steak and Butter Gal. Before I start sharing about how I feel, my updates, what's going on with my energy, mood, sleep, let me just recap what I ate on day 1 of lamb and beef. If you guys saw my recent video of what I eat in a day, you'll remember that I had lamb bacon and ButcherBox ribeyes as my day 1 of reintroduction. So here's a closer look at the lamb bacon after I cooked it. I did a mix of air fry and pan seared, and I have to say my favorite was the pan seared just because it was juicy yet crispy at the same time. This was day 1 of what I ate, lamb and bacon style. So now I'm going to share how I felt the very next day. Hey SB fam, so it's now the next day and I wanted to update you guys how I feel. Currently it is 1:32 p.m. I'm taking a break from work, chilling on the couch. Let me show you guys. Simba is right next to me, just napping. Look at him.
Oh, hello, baby boy. He's just so cute.
Let's go through the list of things to consider, to observe, now that we're 1 day after eating lamb. Sleep, I slept like a baby. Okay, now when I woke up, this is something I noticed. So usually I wake up 7 a.m., 8 a.m. I get woken up, I should say, by my other dog, a puppy, 4-month-old French bulldog, Gouda. He wakes me up, insists that I get up, take him out, and feed him breakfast. So this morning it was a 7 a.m. bark. And so I woke up and I definitely noticed I felt a little bit more groggy. But I'm not going to just pinpoint it on the lamb making me feel groggy and super tired. It was because I ate a super late meal. Yesterday was Friday. Yesterday was my full day of challenge meetings. And I ate a really late dinner and watched movies until 12:30 a.m. So that's probably why. So I'm not going to blame it on the lamb. And honestly, a little bit of grogginess is completely fine and normal. After I took Gouda out, I went back to sleep. So I slept for about an hour and a half more, then woke up and started my days of coachings and meetings. So I've just finished all of them, which is why I'm taking a break now and updating you guys. So now let's move on to energy and mood. Energy and mood, fantastic. I feel so good, especially right now. I finished my work. I know that I have a full day of doing whatever I want to do. So I feel really good. Energy-wise, very, very normal. Pretty much the same as when I am on beef only. So stools, no stools passed. However, I have to say, yesterday morning, I passed a stool and it was, this is going to be TMI. So if you want to skip it, just skip the next 30 seconds. But my stool yesterday was dark. It was solid, semi-solid / kind of mushy and very normal. Like every time I pass stools, they're very small in size, just very small, just like little, just things. Okay. So yeah, I passed a stool yesterday. Nowadays, I do it like once or twice a week. I know it's crazy. You probably think that it's so weird, especially if you're new to my channel, but that's the norm for me. And I accept it, and I'm grateful for not having to poop twice a day like I did when I was plant-based. Skin, exactly the same. No random breakouts, no redness, no discoloration, no texture changes. My skin is the same, right? We're only a day after eating the lamb. So of course I'm going to keep documenting, but so far so good with the skin. Oh, nose congestion, perfectly fine. I can breathe through my nose perfectly fine. Usually congestion is the first sign where something is not going right. My throat, no pain, no dryness, no changes to my voice. It's not coarse, it's not raspy. Thirst levels, I noticed I was quite thirsty this morning. So maybe the sodium levels in lamb is a little higher. Who knows? But overall, I'm feeling 10 out of 10, really good. No negative symptoms so far, just the groggy feeling waking up at 7, but it's explainable. Watching movies and eating a very late dinner. So that's that. Day 2 of beef and lamb. And look at this mess. Look at this thing. This is a roll of kbbq short ribs with 3 loners. I totally forgot to thaw this overnight, my bad. And I just threw the whole frozen thing in the oven to just thaw. So this is the result. I'm going to just separate these pieces. I think it's fully thawed now. I honestly don't mind with kbbq short ribs. I don't need a certain doneness. If it's overcooked to like a crisp, even better. Look at how beautiful this is. Look at that fat. Oh, as you can see, my beloved beef kbbq short ribs, which is just a mess. And I have a little sliver of lamb kebab meat. Let me show you the packaging. Here's the lamb kebab. It is about 1 pound of lamb kebab meat from Juilliard Meats, by the way. I'm going to bake it, and then I'm going to do a quick sear on my pan to give it more crust. And the kbbq, I'm just going to bake. I think technically this is called a reverse sear. I baked it first in the oven, and now I'm doing a quick sear at the end right now. And it's just a few minutes, medium-high heat, pouring over some lamb bacon fat from yesterday, just to bring out the flavor. Okay, the quick sear is done. I'm gonna put it back in my bowl now. Wow, look at that brownness. Crispy golden brown. So the important thing about meat, cooking meat, that I have learned along these past 2 years of cooking meat and being carnivore, it is so important to let your meat rest. That's when all the magic happens. That's when the temperature cools down and the meat tenderizes and becomes juicy. So just let it rest. I'm not gonna touch it for the next 4 minutes. And in the meantime, I'm going to get out the kbbq. So let's check on the kbbq. Okay, it's still raw, not ready. Okay, so I have the meats in front of me. I'm ready to eat now. And I thought that I would do a quick taste test, definitely of the lamb kebab. Simba is here as usual, ready to munch on my leftovers. I don't think I'll have any leftovers today. It's a very hot day, hence my fan directly at me.
So good.
Let's try the fat. I'm telling you, I don't think I would have survived the 5 months of beef only if I didn't have these beautiful kbbq sprinkled in here and there throughout the 5 months. So I have 4 pounds plus the bone, right? So if you minus those little bones, it's probably gonna be like 3 pounds. And then I have 1 pound of lamb kebab meat. It's just gorgeous. Look at that gorgeous fat. What? Oh my god. Okay. Well, he definitely cleans my hands. So that lamb kebab compared to yesterday's lamb bacon, it tastes a lot more like beef. It has that kick in, that red meat kick, you know, that you don't get in white meat or pork. But it still had that pork flavor. So it was predominantly pork flavor with beef flavor. Guys, I've never really truly swallowed lamb before, so the way I describe it is probably going to be unlike anybody else's description of lamb. Today's lamb cut was extra savory, just almost salty to my taste buds. Yesterday's lamb bacon was sweet, for sure, hands down sweeter than savory. Definitely check out Juilliard Meats. Hoda, if you're watching this, thank you so much for sending me these gorgeous lamb cuts. Comment down below your favorite lamb recipes, your favorite tips and advice on cooking lamb. All right, today's menu, it's gonna be lamb shank and beef ribeyes. So today I'm deciding to go with lamb shank just because I'm kind of in the mood for something more stew-like, soup-like. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna first sear it so it has a nice crust and it brings out the flavor of the meat. And then I'm gonna directly transfer it into a boiling pot of water. Turn on the heat so it starts boiling. So I'm going to let this come to a boil. Thank you guys for your tips on cooking lamb, as well as tips on how to throw away meat packages. So I read the comments and some of you guys said you put it in the freezer, all meat packages, and then you throw it out when you go take out your trash. And other people said to always rinse the bags before throwing it away. All great tips. So once your skillet or pan is really hot, just sear the lamb shank really quick, both sides, all angles. I basically just seared it for 15-20 seconds, each angle that I could possibly get around the entire lamb shank. I also did the tips on both sides as well. After searing the lamb shank, I just immersed it into the pot of boiling water, and then I turned down the heat to low to the point where the water was just simmering, a light simmer, and then I just left it on the low heat for 2 whole hours. So this right here is the lamb shank. You can really see the bone come out. Look at that beautiful soup, by the way. So much fatty goodness in that soup. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a quick sear of the lamb shank. I'm going to actually eat this with the bone and with my hands, and I'm going to wash it down with the actual broth, which I put it in a nice pretty glass. It is so golden in color, probably from all that amazing fat. Look at that beautiful lamb shank. Look at the color. Cheers to carnivore and lamb. So this day's eating would not be complete without a quick, fast-forwarded mukbang of me eating this entire lamb shank with my hands. I was watching a show, that's why the light keeps changing in front of me. But wow, it was just pure bliss eating the shank with my hands, sipping on that fat, thick, delicious, savory broth. It was pure heaven, guys, and I enjoyed every single second of it. So this lamb shank really was fall off the bone good. There were fat chunks. There were nice lean pieces that still was very juicy and tender. And I even gave some to Simba because I felt generous on this night. So let me just give you guys an update on how I felt after day 3 of eating lamb. So what I noticed is I cannot eat as much lamb as I can with beef. So there must be something in the nutrients, maybe in the electrolytes, the minerals that is in lamb that may be different from beef. So I do find with all 3 lamb meals that I've had so far, I just don't need as much food. Usually I can put down up to 4 pounds of beef, just straight up beef. But when I add lamb into the equation, I don't need any more than 3, and I am so beyond satiated. So that is a big observation. I feel satiated. The next day I have 0 hunger pangs. I also can confirm that my energy and mood is still fantastic. I do not feel any crankiness, any hanger. My sleep is still excellent. I sleep like a baby. And after day 2 and day 3 of the lamb, I woke up feeling energized and ready to start my day. No more grogginess. So far so good. And by the way, for those who are wondering whether or not I'm doing any fasting, I'm doing 0 fasting beyond OMADs. So far, I have been eating OMADs every single day, lamb and beef, as according to plan. This was the beef portion of my meal of this day. It is just 2 ButcherBox grass-fed, grass-finished ribeyes. Again, if you guys want to try out ButcherBox, I have a link for you guys to sign up. They currently have a free ground beef for life, as long as you click the link in my description box. Okay, on to the next day's food. Hey guys, so this is what I'm eating for tonight. I decided to just go with all beef tonight. I honestly am just lazy to cook up fancy recipes with the lamb. Just for today, I'm going to take a break from lamb. I just want something super idiot-proof, easy, and simple. So I'm going with these New York strips. I just laid it out on this tray because it looks cool. I'm not going to be baking it. As you can tell, completely frozen. They're rock hard. Look at that gorgeous marbling. I cannot wait to eat this part. The strip side is just so crunchy. I love the texture it gives. The thickness, it's about 1 inch. I'm currently preheating the air fryer, so let's just throw these in about 5 minutes. Oh, and here's the broth refrigerated from yesterday's shank, and major fail coming up. Oh my god. No. So I ended up putting it in a bowl, and of course I still ate it all. It basically tastes like cold, salty jello. By the way, I did not salt or put any salt in the broth or at all during the cooking process, yet it tastes so salty and so flavorful and savory, and it just tastes like a salty, meaty jello. 5 minutes later, I transferred the New York strips, the frozen New York strips, into the air fryer. Here's the finished product. I can confirm that air frying frozen steaks will give you an even crispier crust, but please be careful not to overcook like I did. I completely overcooked it, so it became well done steak, which I still enjoyed. And just an observation, after yesterday's lamb meal, I realized that this day I really did not want any fat, and these 3 New York strip steaks, which are very lean in my opinion, were plenty for the amount of fat that I needed. So I'm wondering if eating all this lamb has been changing my needs for how much fat I want to eat. So we shall keep observing. Hey guys, so today's cut of lamb has been decided. What am I going to be eating today? Lamb ribs. So I'm going with this one because I'm in the mood for some oven slow cooked lamb, and this one is going to be perfect for it because it's lamb ribs. All the ribs are across this slab of meat, and as you can see in the back here, so much fat. Slow cooking this will cause the meat to be so tender, juicy, and fall off the bone. So that's what we're going to try to achieve today. Again, this is my first time cooking lamb ribs. So I got in touch with Hoda, and she recommended her favorite way to cook lamb ribs, which is slow cooking in the oven at 225 degrees Fahrenheit for a few hours. So I'm going to keep an eye on the meat. When I think it looks like the meat is falling off the bone, I will take it out and then do a quick sear on a hot pan to crisp up the fat and bring out the flavor. So that is the plan for today's meal, and of course with a side of some cute little ribeyes. 1.4 pounds, so I'm guessing just 1 pound of actual meat. Take that off, and I'm going to put it on my tray. All right, so this here, absolutely no smell. Actually, it smells like nothing. I think I'm gonna do the fat side up. I might actually flip it halfway through just so both sides can get that heat during the slow cook process. All right, let's put it in the oven. So to recap, I put the fat side up on my tray and I am slow baking it in my oven, low and slow, 250 degrees Fahrenheit. We're gonna check in about 2 hours. Okay, it's been almost 2 hours. I went out to do some errands, dog walking with Simba, so I'm really excited to check on the meat. Are you ready? We're gonna see it together for the first time. Oh my gosh. Oh.
What the? Holy.
Whoa! Do you see the fat moving? Oh my gosh, it's crisping up. It's legit rising. Oh, it looks phenomenal. Right, Simba? I know you smell that goodness. Yeah, you had a nice walk with me. Yeah. Oh my gosh, look at that. Let me get a close up. Oh. Oh. Wow. What is this? So I basically did 2 hours at 250, and now instead of pan frying it for that extra sear, I'm just gonna broil it at high for like a couple minutes, and that will be it. So we're gonna start the broil. So the broiling option on your oven really gets that crust and that crisp out of the meat that you cook. So it brings out the flavor, it adds that extra crunchiness, and it's just like a hot flash of heat. So we're gonna just do it for a few minutes. Oh my goodness. Okay, so I just cut off a little piece from the lamb ribs in the oven. So let's give it a taste. Oh my god. Literally tastes like chicken skin. You know what this part reminds me of? Peking duck, Beijing ya, Beijing kao ya. That amazing roasted crispy duck skin that I used to eat when I was a kid at Chinese restaurants. This reminds me exactly of that crispy golden color and texture and taste. Look at the inside. So juicy. By far, hands down, the best one yet. The lamb shank was good, not nearly as juicy and tender as this. I mean, come on, it's just drenched in fat. And the lamb bacon is great if you want something crunchy. Look at how much juice. Oh my gosh. I'm gonna sit down and actually properly eat this with my hands. If I could recommend one of the cuts that I've tried so far, it's this one, the lamb ribs. So if you want to try this out, again, I oven slow cooked it, baked it at 250 for 2 straight hours. I finished it off with a 5-minute broil on high. So because that was only 1 measly pound of delightful, gorgeous, amazing, heavenly lamb meat, clearly wasn't enough. So I just fried up 2 more ButcherBox ribeyes. I cut it up into little bites just so it would cook a lot faster. And that was the rest of my meal for tonight. So today's dinner, I'm going to be having 1 New York strip and something new. This is going to be ground beef patties. So this is a reintroduction of ground beef, especially because after the first month of beef only, I realized ground beef wasn't optimal when it came to digestion. So I'm going to add it back in, see how it affects me, and I will of course update you guys. So here's 3 grass-fed, grass-finished frozen patties from ButcherBox, and I'm just going to air fry it with the New York strip steak. This is frozen and these are definitely frozen, as you can hear. And I'm also going to just be searing up 2 ButcherBox ribeyes as well. So this is what it looks like, 100% grass-fed, grass-finished. There's 6 beef patties, so I took 3 out. And tomorrow I will be making these bad boys. I'm super excited to make both of these for the meal. We have lamb loins and lamb chops. Oh, and I wanted to thank my friend and fellow carnivore, Lisa, for sending me this amazing, thoughtful gift. It is her defrosting tray, and she sells it on Amazon. So this is what it looks like. I unpackaged it once I received it. I tested out a frozen piece of chicken breast on this defrosting tray, and I have to say, it came to room temperature and completely thawed in less than 2 hours. So I was very pleased with this product. Lisa, thank you so much for sending it to me. And if you guys want to check out her defrosting tray, I will make sure to link it down below in the description box. By the way, this chicken is for my pups, Simba and Gouda. I like to boil chicken breast for them, and I use them as a training treat. So I always boil some chicken every once in a while just to have those treats on hand. Anytime I walk Gouda, since he is a puppy, anytime I train Simba. So this is the finished product after I air fried the ground beef patties and the New York strips. These 2 are the ButcherBox ribeyes, which I seared on my pan. And these are the 3 gorgeous ButcherBox ground beef patties. And I can just update you guys right now since I've already eaten them. The ground beef did not affect me negatively in any way. I did not pass any stools. I did not have diarrhea. I did not have gas, no bloat, no bad digestion. I slept fine. And I distinctly remember the day after I ate this meal, I felt so good the next day. The whole day after, I had this full day of coachings and meetings. I was so turned on, so alert, happy, in a good mood, great energy. So I can confirm that these ground beef patties, at least from ButcherBox, are a-okay for me. I will continue to document how I feel off of these ground beef patties. You will definitely see them more. Thank you guys so much for watching this week of meals of lamb and beef. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you guys try some of these lamb cuts. I'm telling you, those lamb ribs that I had, my gosh, they were phenomenal. Again, Billy Doe Meats, thank you so much. I will link all of the meats that I had in this video down below in the description box. If you enjoy my videos, please do hit subscribe, turn on those bell notifications so you don't miss my next videos. Oh, and don't forget to hit that like button too. Okay, I'm done. I will see you guys in my next video. Love you guys so much. SPG out.